r/ask Reddit. What old person things do you do? I've been to a shopping mall before all the stores were open, so I just walked laps around the mall until they opened. Hahaha, that's so old. Groan every time I get up from sitting. I pretty recently threw out my back while putting on socks. I feel you too much. I recently jumped up and down once when I got some really good news, and I could hardly walk for several days because it hurt my knee. I actually always have a bag of Werther's hard candy in my car. Also, I'm kinda terrible with computers. I'm 27 but my friends call me an undercooked grandpa. Undercooked grandpa. More and more as I get older, I need to rest my eyes for a bit. Won't be long till I just turn that into full-blown naps. I'm 23 and do the same. After work I get home and just sit down for a bit and then boom, I wake up and it's 10 PM. I do hate that shuffle off the couch and into bed so I can get a better sleep before my 6 AM alarm, though. I'm part of quiz team of 50-60 year-men called the Old Gits that does pub quizzes in a golfing pub. I am a 25-year woman, and probably the youngest in that pub by about 20 years. 90% of the questions are before my time, but I help out with all the gaming and youth culture questions that throw all the other teams off. I'm their secret weapon. I get to learn a lot of interesting stuff and there's a great selection of real ales there. I love it. I evidently have the same TV watching habits of my late grandparents. My dad makes fun of me for watching Matlock and Murder, She Wrote like his mom did. At some point, I noticed that all of the commercials between my shows were for things like alert bracelets and walk-in bathtubs. Even the commercials for toys were like, your grandchild will love this for their birthday. Time to go yell at some kids to get off my lawn. I've watched so much Matlock, Murder, She Wrote, Andy Griffith Show, and Murder Diagnosis because I'm a caregiver for elderly people. Crack my bones like they're Rice Krispies. Oh man, in the morning my neck sounds like a popcorn machine and a bowl of Rice Krispies had a baby, and it just crashed an airplane made of uncooked pasta into a bubble wrap factory. I've started standing at my front window with a cup of coffee and scowling at the squirrels digging up my flower beds. My transformation into my father is complete. I'm only 30, and I'm way too suspicious of teenagers. A few frupps of kids cut through the parking lot of my apartment complex in the mornings to get to school, and I'll just peek through my blinds with squinted angry eyes and sip my coffee while muttering to myself, assuming that these kids are up to no good. There's no reason for me to do this, but it's basically a part of my morning routine now. Oh, and I frequently sneeze if it. Meetings at 10 should only be a 15-minute drive for you. I'll leave at 8:45. Good lord, this is me. I don't even realize that I do it until I'm there 40 minutes early and have to sit in my car and read Reddit till the actual time. Constantly turn off lights in rooms that are not in use, and turn on heat only when it gets too cold. Electricity doesn't pay for itself. I swear the hallway light is going to drive me to the point of insanity one day. The damn thing gets more action than a honeymoon. Kids constantly flipping it on. Seems they have no clue how to flip it back off. Go to bed early on a Saturday. A consistent schedule feels so good though. The idea of staying up late the weekend sounds nice, but in practice, going to sleep and waking up at the same times every day makes you feel more well rested, even early in the morning. Read through this thread thinking about how lovely everything sounds. Watch TV with subtitles on. TV is so much better that way. Imo. My Netflix and Hulu also have the subtitles on. Get excited when weekend plans fall through and I get to stay home and watch movies instead. This is very much a mid-late 20s and 30s thing, not so much an old person thing. When you're old you start to look forward to those weekend plans because you're so often not doing shit at home that getting out is a big deal. You better believe I rarely miss an episode of Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy. They're my programs. I go to bed early, well, around 9-10 PM. Sometimes my friends want to hang out, and I'm like, what time? And they say 10, and then I say, duck that shit, I'll be in bed. Call me when you want to drink at 7. Ever since I had a kid that wakes up early, I go to bed early. I have a downstairs neighbor that likes to throw rages on the weekends. If they go on too late, I go down in my jammies and tell them to pipe down because I typically wake up at 5:30 am, even on the weekends. He's in his late 50s. I'm 33. Sometimes, when I'm home alone, I realize I could do anything I want and nobody would know. So I take a hot bath and steep some chamomile tea. If I'm feeling frisky and want to spice it up, I put 2 pairs of socks on and curl up under a blanket. I didn't have a good bathtub for over a decade. In the last 2 years of living at my new place, with a decent bathtub, I've easily had over 100 baths. In fact, I'm in the bathtub now, and plan to be in bed before 9 since I need to be up early for the vet at 7 am. I put up bird feeders and I like to watch them from the window. I like naps and sweaters. I keep forgetting words. I keep forgetting words. Hardly ever party or drink anymore. Go to bed at 9. Don't date. Often I really have to stop and ask myself if I would rather do X or just stay at home and read. Groan every time I sit down or get up. I'm in great shape. It doesn't require effort. But good grief, those gosh darn habits of mine just won't pipe down. My partner and I lay on opposite ends of the couch like the grandparents from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I get excited about buying stuff for the house, like pictures, little knickknacks, figurines, furniture, etc. I also love going to furniture stores, home or food stores like Williams Sonoma and Sur La Table. Sur La Table is heaven for someone like me. I can get lost in there for hours just looking at all the stuff they have for the kitchen. I'm up by 6 am every day regardless. I don't understand how to or have any desire to use a lot of social media platforms. Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, etc. I also have very little interest in upgrading my cell phone, or even knowing what the best new phones are. I'm a 24-year-old software engineer. I use a shoehorn to put on my boots. It's great. I got a small one for home and a nice long one for work. Takes no effort to get outside. The only things I watch on television are people fixing and selling houses and people making tasty food. Complain about modern music. Wear earplugs to concerts. I'm not self-conscious about it. Before people come to my defense saying that's actually good to protect your hearing. True, but at 27 I still feel like a geezer at festivals looking like everything's too loud and not as good as back in my day. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.